Well, I did it. I watched Lilly Singh's new movie, Doin' It, in its entirety. This is, of course, after I reviewed the trailer for the movie, which YouTube removed for being too inappropriate, yet the actual trailer itself is still on the platform, despite the trailer itself being the reason why my video was removed in the first place. So it is possible that my review of this movie is going to be very biased, because I was somewhat salty about my video getting removed. And because I'm a petty little bitch, I couldn't stop thinking about my removed video while watching the movie. And now for starters, is it as horrendous and cringeworthy as Amy Schumer's movie Kinda Pregnant, a movie that was also released this year that I reviewed from an old face on this channel? No. To me, Kinda Pregnant is a 1-star movie, and Doin' It is more of a 2-star, so it's a little better. Still not great, but at least there's something I can get from it, unlike Kinda Pregnant, where the message is just, don't lie. A moral told through an excruciating script. Doin' It actually has a decent message. Unfortunately, the movie itself completely botches it through the execution. Now, because my video was removed for being too inappropriate, which again is from showing scenes that are still on YouTube, I have to be extra careful on what I show and say about this film. I may be using words that are innuendos for certain acts that YouTube deems too sexual. I also got hit with a pretty heavy copyright hit from my Amy Schumer movie review, so I'm gonna do my best to not show any clips to prevent this video from getting struck down. Say what you will about Logan Paul, but when I reviewed his brilliant feature debut, Airplane Mode, I did not get one single copyright hit from him, despite showing many clips from the movie. Does this make Logan Paul better than Amy Schumer and Lilly Singh now? Lilly Singh spent many years making this movie, and it's kind of a passion project for her, promoting a message that sex ed shouldn't be just about abstinence, embracing a curriculum that sways away from shaming thoughts about sex, which is all fine and dandy. I'm glad she was able to achieve a dream of hers of making a movie, even if the product is not great. But before we see why Doin' It is a flop, I'd like to talk about what I liked from it first. The dialogue surprisingly feels natural in a lot of scenes. I wouldn't say it's funny, but it's definitely much better compared to Kinda Pregnant, where a lot of the lines felt forced and awkward. The chemistry between Lilly and the love interest is fine. It didn't make me cringe, so I guess that's something. See, what else? I guess the message by itself isn't entirely bad. Yep, that's all I got. Speaking of the message of the movie, it serves as fuel for the opposing argument it's trying to debunk. One of the reasons why proponents of abstinence, being the core to sex ed, push this mindset is due to parents being afraid of their child being exposed to topics that are too hypersexual or inappropriate in a class setting. So how does Lilly Singh display this mindset being the wrong way of thinking? Well, her character is a teacher, a substitute teacher, and as a teacher, she does the following in the movie. Teaches kids how to find the G-spot, gives homework that requires students to explore their own bodies, through maturbation, teaching kids how to squirt, and sharing her own sex life with her students. There's even a scene where after Lilly revealed to her students that her mom licked a small object that looks like a rocket ship, one of the students makes a song about it at the end of the movie and performs this song at the school dance. If you're trying to change minds on sex ed, you are not only failing to provide good arguments, but you're only strengthening the opposing side. I get it's a comedy, topics will be exaggerated, but it shouldn't be at the expense of your own message of the movie. In a way, it's kind of like Shrek 1. Now, as much as I like this movie, I can't deny there is somewhat of a contradiction between the message of inner beauty versus outer beauty and the constant short jokes towards Lord Farquaad. Towards the hour mark, Lilly gives a speech about how teens shouldn't be ashamed of their bodies and shouldn't be ashamed for thinking about sex, which again is not a bad message, but it's like, yeah, you're kind of the caricature of the sex ed teacher some parents are afraid of exposing to their kid. So obviously this comedy and the topic of sex is going to include exaggerated jokes. However, that shouldn't require Lilly to be that sex-crazed teacher caricature. You can have your over-the-top sex jokes outside the classroom, or better yet, the teacher just doesn't act inappropriately in the classroom. That would literally solve the problem of damaging your own message. It's also funny too, because there's a point in the movie where a teacher and a parent are concerned about Lilly's behavior towards her students in the classroom. The reason why it's hilarious is because they are right. Lilly Singh should be fired from her teaching job. You can still have your crude humor from the students and just have them yell, "Boner," or tampon for laughs while Lily actually tries to educate them with appropriate material.
But maybe that's part of the lesson Lilly Singh learns.
Yeah, well, it isn't. Lily claims that near the end of the movie, she was fired from her teaching job because the school thought she was being too inappropriate towards the students, when in reality, she was just being a badass bitch. Isn't it badass how she talks about the G-spot, or teaches her students how to squirt? Slay, queen. Again, the message isn't terrible, but the movie couldn't have executed in a worse way. So I already hated Lily's character throughout the movie because, again, she's just being wildly inappropriate towards her students, despite these acts adding fuel to the opposing arguments of the message of this movie. And because the pacing of this movie is very rushed at some points, Lily's character has these really drastic changes out of nowhere. Like when she spots one of her students in the bar, and the student tells Lily that she's being a prune for trying to talk her out of having sex with her boyfriend. This causes Lily to then get super drunk and make fun of the love interest for not wanting to have sex with her because he has previous trauma. Or when Lily's job is on the brink of being terminated, when her friend comes by and asks her if she wants to TP the principal's house, Lily responds with,
Grow up. Life isn't all about pleasure. How you act is embarrassing.
Like, there is technically a cause and effect here, but the problem is there's no room to breathe, so she just comes off as a major asshole without the audience being able to understand why. The love interest is kind of bland. We know he relates to Lily in some way, that they're both from Asia, but that's about it. The students, I feel like, could have been given more time to develop. About maybe 2 or 3 of them get some time to add to their character through talking with Lily. A lot of them are really just stereotypes from other raunchy high school comedies. You have the dumb jock, you have the girl who hates everyone and everything, you have the sex-crazed pervert. The other ones I don't remember. The principal makes raunchy jokes. That's her character. The best friend makes raunchy jokes. That's her character. The mom is probably one of the more interesting characters out of all of this. She goes through development and a change throughout the story, so there's that. There is also a scene with her licking mayonnaise off of a lightsaber dagger, thinking it's spoiled milk. There's also the antagonist. She's like the uptight teacher, I guess. So those are probably my biggest complaints from a story and character perspective. How about the actual comedy? Not funny. The only joke I laughed at was when Lily was hooking up with this floozy at the bar, and out of nowhere, it's revealed he has a mommy kink and talks about his baby wiener. I thought this setup was so ridiculous and stupid, it actually got a chuckle out of me. Lily also reacting to the situation she was witnessing only added to the humor and actually didn't take away, so good job. Oh wait, I lied. There was actually something else that made me laugh. It wasn't a joke, but there's a 1.5 second shot of a CGI plane that flashbanged my eyes. Besides those outliers, the jokes range from not funny to not making sense. When the stereotypical raunchy best friend talks about tampons and pee-pees, for some reason we get shots of Earth and then a galaxy, like it's expanding out. This joke had me scratching my head for a minute like a goddamn Neanderthal. Like the raunchy best friend just goes on and on about her nonsense, and maybe this is supposed to be showing the passage of time, or this is some big epiphany or revelation, which even then doesn't make much sense really. I don't fucking care anymore. Doing it is kind of shit. It's not liquid diarrhea like Kinda Pregnant. Again, I would say there's a 1-star difference between the two. Much rather watch this movie than ew. If you want to support independent films, then maybe watch this. If you want to see a good movie, I would skip this.